Yo, what's up, Rick? How you
What's
doing?
going on? Chilling,
Chilling,
baby.
man.
We live. We live.
We live. You know what time it is?
Time is it?
Showtime. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Media Chop Up. We're on episode 12, and today's episode's all about our favorite movie plot twists. My name is Serge, aka Sergerilla, and I'm joined by my brother from another mother, Rick, aka Mr. Nice Guy.
What is going on, everybody, man? If this is your first time here, consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and we can get together and talk a lot of poop about movies, man. If you like movies, this is where you want to be.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, yeah, man, another episode. Sometimes it just pops in my head. This topic is fun, but then it's also it requires a lot of thinking because sometimes you remember movies for certain scenes, but this you have to remember. It's almost like the movie as a whole is what pulls you along, and then basically either dupes you or just switches it up on you and basically blows your mind. So you got to remember those things, and there's a lot of little facets of these movies. So sometimes when you try to retrieve those memories, like, oh, which plot twists are my favorite, you really got to think about it, And there's really a lot out there, So it's hard to really honestly remember all these movies.
Yeah.
So I mean, off the top of your head, man, what makes a great what attributes to a great movie plot twist?
I mean, you can't see it coming, man. You can't be able to be like, oh, I knew that was gonna happen. It has to be something that just completely catches you off guard, and hence the term plot twist. You think you know where the movie's going, and then it hits you with the okie doke.
Are you one of those people who watches movies very critically? That in a movie you see a black cat walk by, be like, why did they show that? I'm gonna remember that. Like little snippets like that.
That happened in the Matrix. I was very curious about the black cat, just like Neo was. Like, whoa.
Well, to add to that, I would say that I feel like it's a lot of different things that that the movie that contribute towards a movie plot twist. So it's gonna be the cinematography, because they're gonna show you what they want to show you in the story, the script writing, obviously the actors. The actors definitely got to sell it. I think a great movie plot twist is a movie that will have you guessing the whole movie, or maybe lead you into a false sense of comfortability, and then basically just pull the rug from under you, and you didn't see it coming, and blows your mind. So I mean, I think it's an art form. Honestly, as I watch some of these movies, and then you watch it again, all of a sudden you see everything that you didn't notice. I try to when I watch a movie, notice everything. But sometimes there's so much going on and there's so much dialogue that you get focused on that instead of what's happening in the backgrounds and so on and so on. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely, for sure.
Absolutely. So yeah, let's get this started, brother. You want to start us off with your first movie choice?
Yeah, I forgot what it was though, so you have to refresh my memory. First movie choice was
Bow. Is that
The Usual Suspects? Yes, man, that's one of those classics, man. If you have not seen Usual Suspects, go check it out, man. You will forever be saying Kaiser Soze. Who is Kaiser Soze? That is the question of that movie, man. That movie is like awesome on so many levels. You had a lot of big time actors there who really like showed up, and they brought their A game, man. That movie, like, that was one of those plot twists. That was the first plot twist that I've seen in a long time that just made you like, you just stared at the screen like, oh, it was genius. It was genius. I don't want to. I won't give a lot of details because if you haven't seen it, like,
man, I think to truly, honestly, to talk about these things, we got to talk. It was movie.
I can
dance around things. How do you dance around things and not tell people and not draw them in?
No, I'll draw them in, but I'm not going to tell them what the plot twist is. That's because that's the whole movie right there. The plot, you give away the plot twist, you give away the whole movie. The movie doesn't have the same wow. If you know exactly what's gonna, if you've never seen the movie, this is your first time watching it. I mean, if you're gonna give out, if you're gonna give spoilers, that's fine. Just give the, spoiler alert. Give them the
Yo,
opportunity to veer left and not see it. But I mean, it's about. I think I can't remember exactly what it was. I should have done a little bit of my homework because we're really busy.
well,
We got
I
we
think
got.
I might have did something. Let me see if I have anything on that. Um, let's see. As I was like researching so many movies that I really liked.
Right.
Let me see. Nah, I didn't save it here. Sorry. I was gonna say just look it up. Look it up and just give us the a little bit background of the story.
All right, cool. All right, real quick. I went to the Googles, right? I checked it out, and it says it's just a really quick synopsis here. It just says, it's a quote from the movie, Kevin Spacey's line. It says, "The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he didn't exist,"
Yes.
and that pretty much sets up the tone for the movie because everybody's looking for this Kaiser Soze character. He's wanted by everybody. Everybody thinks they have him captured, and Kevin Spacey is one of the people who was a witness to the whereabouts of Kaiser Soze. So they have him, and they're interrogating him, and he's telling them the story. He's giving them all the information about Kaiser Soze, and everything that he knows about him. So she just goes around storytelling, telling about all of his experiences, and throughout the movie, you see how they develop this Kaiser Soze character and how terrifying and scary he is and ruthless, and they really want him. They've been looking for this guy for a long time, and they have an opportunity to capture him. So that's the premise of the movie, and the plot twist is just that. It's wow! It was one of those movies that was really really awesome.
It was. It had a really good cast. Who it had let me see.
Kevin Spacey,
Kevin Spacey.
Benicio del Toro.
I love Benicio del Toro. It had one of the Baldwin brothers in there, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, they did a great job, man. It definitely blew my mind, and I'm not going to use a spoiler alert alarm for this one, but this is definitely one of those movies that I really enjoyed growing up watching, and it's saying, "Yo, that was dope." What's funny is that I had this word that I used to use a lot back in the day. So when I was in high school, when I wanted to describe something that was like mind stimulating or something that really really tapped your brain a little bit, I used to be like, "Yo, that's ill. Yo, that's ill." And I used to use that word for everything. And this movie was one of those movies. I was like, "Yo, that ending was ill."
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope.
Definitely. So yeah, I definitely love that movie, and I feel like it definitely fits the definition of a plot twist. Quick question:
Shoot.
your movie selections, right?
Mhm.
You think they define you as they define you as a movie watcher, like in terms of your tastes? Like, for example, if you start spewing some examples that are like not so fan favorite, or nobody agrees with it, does that mean that people can't trust your taste, or just
I guess to each his own, really, because I don't have like a definitive movie. I can watch everything from every genre. There's no genre that I don't watch. I don't
okay.
stay away from anything. Oh, wait, that's a lie. I don't like musicals that are too musically.
Yeah, you don't like musicals. Yeah, I don't like
Yeah,
them. So you don't like Bollywood?
I can enjoy Bollywood
Not me.
as long as it's not too much singing. Like perfect example was Frozen, right? The first Frozen was perfect. It was flawless. The second Frozen was a little bit too musical. They was singing a little bit too much.
Okay. I
Yeah,
mean, but
so
hello, these movies are all known for great songs and singing, but yeah, you don't want them to up it. I mean, listen, The Lion King, they sang a lot, right? The
yeah, but
original.
it was good though. It was like it wasn't too much. It was like they didn't sing for every scenario in the movie. They sang when it was when it fit.
I guess they did a lot of singing in it, but I feel what you're saying. I don't want
Mhm.
to sidetrack too much. But all right, let's
Yeah.
get into my choice. So my choice, and this is something I remembered much later after I did research on a whole bunch of other movies, but I thought it was a great movie, and it definitely fits the title of Ill. Um,
Ill.
no, you're saying it differently. Don't
I
say
know.
it. It's a different type of ill, bro. Different type of ill.
Ill.
Let me see what we got here. Jason said Interstellar. Uh, Mommy Flo. Oh,
Yeah,
that's your wife. She
yeah.
says Slumdog Millionaire was great, and it was. I don't remember if there was much singing in that. um, yes, Interstellar was an ill movie. Was
Ex
a very,
Machina was great too. She said
uh,
that up there.
yeah,
Man, that movie was awesome.
definitely the good movie, but Interstellar lost me. I saw that in the movie theaters, and some things can be too abstract, and it was my patience was wearing thin in that movie theater. But maybe I'll find time to watch it some more. Do you agree?
I agree with Tenet. I had a hard time following Tenet. I just watched
Yeah,
it recently. I have to watch it again. That movie was it was tough to watch. It was too smart for me, if that makes any sense.
it does make sense, and sometimes it may take another watching of it to
Yeah.
really understand it. But the truth
Mm,
is, like, in all honesty, who has time? Not everyone has access from home, like you or me. So
mm.
they may not have the opportunity outside of the movie theater to be able to see it again unless it comes on TV much later down the line.
It's on TV now for $20 right now, 19.99.
I will not pay. But
Correct.
so all right, so my first choice would be the movie Frailty with Matthew McConaughey.
I seen that a long time ago.
So very very interesting story. It's a father with his two sons, and his two sons were about a couple years apart. So you had like the older brother, they're both young, and then the much younger brother, and they both seek the approval of their father. And there's no mother in the picture, and he's a single father on like some type farm type thing.
Mhm.
And out of nowhere, he just barges in his kid's room, and he starts talking on some religious talk, talking about how he was selected and how he was given certain powers to see demons, and that demons walk amongst us, but they wear, you won't be able to recognize them because they look like humans. But
Oh,
so at first the kids were like, okay, dad, okay, all right. They just woke up, and then the next time he barges in on them, he's like, all right, let's go, we got to go to work. And they're like, go to work. And basically he includes them in capturing these quote unquote demons. So now as the older brother looks at the younger brother, he's like looking at the younger brother to see how he's perceiving the father, to see
right.
if he sees on the same page as thinking as the brother, and he realizes that the younger brother's just trying to appease his father, he's trying to please him. So he's like, like going along with whatever the father says, and then the older the bigger son starts saying, "Dad, are you sure?" He's like, "Yes, son. You have to believe." And it keeps going on, and they keep and it's really unsettling throughout the movie. And Matthew McConaughey is talking. He's telling the story, but he's basically turning himself in as an adult. So these things happen during their childhood.
Oh, okay. I'm starting to remember now.
Yeah. So, bro, like I was coming in here ready to ruin some plot. I mean, some spoilers.
No, go ahead. Go for it. Yo,
All
it's your
right, all
cup
right.
of tea. Go ahead.
So,
Run, Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
I dropped the spoiler alarm, so I don't want to hear any crying. All right. So, yeah. Um. So yeah. Excuse me if I'm a little bit all over the place. I'm just trying to remember access everything. I did some cool research on some things, and I found out some very interesting things about the movie. But I'll get into that later. So as the story progresses, they have to kill and capture. Like they end up capturing somebody and putting them in the basement, and one of them is a woman. And think about it. Like I heard when they did this the screening of this movie, when people saw that they captured a woman, people walked out of the movie theater. Like, oh no, I can't deal with that. But it was very powerful stuff. And I remember, I don't remember who he spoke to. I don't know if he spoke to I think Steven Spielberg.
Mm.
Um, he showed him the movie. I forgot the director. I'm sorry. But he basically showed it to him and said, "Hey, give me your advice." And he goes, "Listen, when each person you capture, don't do uh, a quick viewing of what they did. Show that at the end because you want people to be divided." And that's exactly what this movie did. It divided you because you were either like, yo, I mean, I myself was like, yo, this guy, the father's bugging. The father has gone crazy, and he feels like he's been chosen, and God wants him to capture these people and kill them because they're demons, you know. And you're like, you don't see that, you know, as the viewer, you just see a person that's like, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me. But then later on, as the movie progresses, they show you what each person did, and then ultimately Matthew McConaughey, you thought he was the one brother over the other. You watch it, you'll understand it. But he's turning himself into the FBI, and the FBI is getting all the facts. And he's like, all right, so tell me about this, and tell me about this, and why did you do this? And ultimately, he turned himself in so he can capture him. So he goes, oh, listen, I'll turn myself in, but I got to show you where the bodies are buried. All right, I'll show you where the bodies are buried. And as he goes there and he's looking for the burial site, he hits him over the head and basically goes, I know what you did. You killed your mother. So he basically killed his own mother because she was elderly and he didn't want to have to deal with things anymore. And basically that was one of the final killings that he had to do. And basically he said, listen, I told you it was over. It really wasn't. And, you know, and I took over for my father when he passed away. So it's an ill story. It's not one that I expected, but I definitely enjoyed. They did a great job with that. I think Brad Pitt was one of the people that they were actually considering to put in that movie. And and as I think about it, the people who they had in mind, let me see if I can see it real quick. The people who they had in mind, it doesn't matter. I felt like they could have done it as well. Sometimes we talk about movies and how they had other people in mind, and you're like, yo, there's no way that person could have played the Joker, or that person could have. Right. But honestly, the people that they mentioned, I felt like they all could have did a good job. But I love Matthew McConaughey, and I think he's very versatile. And I think even though he's gotten a lot of fame, I think he's very underrated in what he can do. I think he can play pretty much anything. You know, are you a fan of Matthew McConaughey's?
Of course, he's a great guy. He's a great actor, man, and he's a great person. Seems like.
Definitely. All right, let's move on to our third movie.
Real quick, John had mentioned that Bill Paxton, who played the dad and directed the movie Frailty, was also the director. That was interesting.
Absolutely. And what was ironic was that Bill Paxton, I think his name is, actually met Matthew McConaughey when they filmed U-571, the submarine movie.
Oh wow, I didn't see that one.
And they bonded together. It was like it's based on a true story, and it's a good story because like they're in a submarine, and then basically they're at war, and then the submarine gets damaged, but then they have to kind of sneak under all the warships without being seen and turn off the freaking submarine while they're underwater and not make a sound. And it was a very, very dramatic, very good movie. You know, cool. I'm just reading some of the comments.
Yeah, and John, if you haven't seen Tenet, definitely check it out. It's a really smart movie. When I say that, is that they spend a lot of time like describing what Tenet is, and it's just a lot of the terminology that I was not familiar with, and it was losing me with that point. But if you can keep up with that kind of stuff, it's an awesome movie. The visuals are really, really awesome. Also, the way they film that whole inverted reality, it's pretty awesome.
I feel like reading that script must be so confusing,
right?
But at the same time, because of the history of movies and the history of how certain people turn down certain mega hits, you don't want, even though you may not understand it, you don't want to miss the next mega hit. I'm not telling you this movie's not worth it, but right. Will Smith gave up Matrix. You know what I mean? So then now people hearing that might not be so critical on these abstract ass scripts, you know?
Right.
Because Matrix was an abstract script. You know, and some people aren't. I mean, by the third one, people weren't able to follow, but you know, I was able to follow. But you know, that was just me. So, all right, next movie. You know what the next one is?
Vanilla Sky.
Vanilla Sky, great movie, great movie. Tell us a little bit about it.
I mean, it's one of those movies that definitely deserves a couple of rewatches because you get to pick up on little things that, you know, you figure out at the end, but it's fun to watch the second and third time. You start saying, oh, wow, that makes sense. Oh, wow, that was crazy. Oh, I didn't notice that. Like, it almost starts like a glitch in the Matrix when he wakes up and, you know, he's in the city all by himself, you know. Mm-hmm. He's the only one there. So, you know, right away it catches your attention. What the hell's going on? Is he just dreaming? But, you know, as you watch the rest of the movie, you understand that there was a glitch in the Matrix. See, I can say that without spoiling the movie. There was a glitch in the Matrix. So, I mean, that movie was really, really great. It talks about, it basically touches on the fact that, our choices have consequences, man.
Mm.
And every choice you make, has a consequence. And, are you willing to live with the consequences? And it's funny because that's how I try to live my life, if I'm going to make a choice, right, I look at both, directions and go, the pro, the con. If I'm okay with either outcome, I make that decision. If
Mm.
not, I don't make that decision. And that movie touches on that, man. How all of our choices, man. You could have lived a completely different life. You could have been, It's funny because that's how I tried to.
Yeah.
That was you. So yeah, I mean, it just that movie's all about making choices and just sometimes understanding that be satisfied with the things that you have in life, man.
Yeah, it was for me. I mean, that's a movie that I said I want to watch it again because it was so much. Penelope Cruz was in it. What's her name?
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz. She did a great job, but there was some really disturbing things that happened in that movie. Very shocking, and it was. I remember there was a part in it. I was like, "Oh,
I'm real.
Damn.
I'm real."
Yo, great movie.
Who was the dad? Who played the dad? Kurt Russell.
Did he?
I think so.
It's been so long since I saw it. Wow, I didn't remember that.
Well, the father figure. He plays the father figure. He's the one. He's his therapist in jail when he's wearing the mask, that opera-esque mask, and he's going to the therapy. It's awesome, man. And one of my favorite lines in the movie is tech support. He's just running tech support.
That means nothing to the person who hasn't seen it.
Exactly.
I'm not sure who hasn't seen it.
Uh-huh.
But that's not necessarily a movie that everyone has seen. I don't think.
Right.
But I watched it to see what it was about, and it's not
that
what I expected.
Yeah, exactly.
Not what I expected. And as I was watching it, I realized you got to really pay attention because this is not your normal type of flow of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And things are symbolic, and you just got to pay attention.
Did you know it was a remake of a Spanish film?
No, didn't know that.
It's called Open Your Eyes.
I wonder why they called it Vanilla Sky.
I don't know. I mean, the movie, they tell you, it's based on a painting, I guess, that, he was really a big fan of, and it was Vanilla Skies, and so his idea of a perfect, day.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Got it. Okay. Fresh. So I'll get to my next movie choice, and that will be the movie with John Cusack, Identity.
Okay.
And it was an interesting murder mystery type movie. Have you seen it?
Which one is it again?
Identity. John Cusack, Ray Liotta, Amanda Peet.
Never seen it.
All right, so damn, like now I feel guilty if I freaking ruin it for you.
No, you can go because you can go. I mean, go for it. I'll watch it anyway if it seems good.
I'll be very honest with you. I'm one of those viewers that you can tell me, I'll still watch it. But if you tell me what to expect, I'll be more critical as I watch it because I know which way you're leading me. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't mean I enjoy it any less.
Right. Okay.
That's just me. Some people just want that full surprise, but I'll be real with you.
That's not me.
I gotta.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
I gotta tell you, right? So the movie is about a bunch of individuals that all get stuck. They're all traveling. There's a huge rainstorm. Let me see. The guests of an interstate motel in Nevada desert quickly learn that there's a homicidal killer among them as they're getting knocked off one by one. So they all get trapped, and the road gets flooded, and there's no way out of this wherever they're at. And they decided to wait out this storm at a motel. And one of the people who's trapped at the hotel was actually a prisoner getting transported. So as you watch the film, you automatically think person who's killing is obviously the guy who's from prison, who's getting transported, who's in prison wear with handcuffs. It got to be him. He got out somehow. But as they keep going on, there's like these little clues and numbers, especially that coincide with the rooms and different things. And people are like, everyone, you don't know who to trust. So as you're watching this story, you're really being very critical. Like, could he have done it? Could he have done it? Maybe it could have been them. They really mislead you with what they show you. And all throughout this, there's actually an interview of a convict, of someone who's going to get killed. He's some sicko, but for whatever reason, he's telling the story. So you're trying to understand it. So as the story goes on and on and on, you realize that the twist is the murderer. There's a little boy that is one of the people who were trapped in the hotel, and the murderer was actually the little boy. So then now you start going over your memory and you start saying, how would this little boy be able to do it? You know, and you'll start remembering certain opportunities where you see him quickly on camera. Okay, he was there, but you didn't really pay attention to him. So this is the murderer is a little boy, which is explained as we learn that each of the 10 strangers stranded at the roadside joint are you actually find out that they're manifestations of a man who suffers from extreme case of dissociative identity disorder, and the boy is one of those personalities. So you find out at the end of the story, after watching this whole murder mystery, that all these people were actually personalities in this guy's head. And as he's telling the story, he's actually almost like channeling each one of those people. And you really didn't expect that. So I thought it was a nice twist. It definitely shocked you. It definitely left you guessing throughout the whole thing on who could be killing, how they were able to kill, you know, and they really at the last second just mixing this up for you. So I thought it was a really great movie, and it fit this title right here, Plot Twist.
Plot twizzle for shizzle.
You know? So let's move on. What you got next?
The Prestige, man. The Prestige. That is a really good movie. It was different.
I didn't get a chance to see that.
Oh man, you gotta watch it for sure, man. So basically, I'm gonna read a quick synopsis of this movie. What do they say here? I'm trying to read it without destroying the integrity. All right, cool. It says it's a period thriller set in Edwardian London where two rival magicians partner up until the tragic death of their assistant during the show. They start a feud against each other after one of them performs the ultimate magic trick, which was I don't want to tell you what it is. So, experimenting with dangerous new science, his quest. You know, they both are real big rivals. They start trying to one up each other, and they start what do you call it? They start messing up each other's acts, right? Like Hugh Jackman will have an act that he worked on, and it was great. And the other one would find out how he did the act, and he would exploit him and ruin his show, and then invite everybody to come see his show. So they was going back and forth. And then it just got too personal, too dangerous. And you start noticing that Christian Bale falls in love with a woman, right? And he starts flip-flopping. And you're wondering why. Like, one day he's, like, crazy in love with her. And then the other day he's, like, treating her like pure trash. Like, he's just disinterested. And she's catching on. Like, this guy has this split personality thing going on. And you're wondering, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Is he, you know, you start wondering, you know, is the relationship more important, or is being the best magician more important? And you know, they start doing stuff to sabotage each other's trick. And he'll go to Hugh Jackman's show, and Hugh Jackman will go to his show, and like just basically hurting each other for the most part. Like, one of the things is, you know, there's a bullet catch, which is a trick. You know, it's a trick. It's not a real bullet involved, but you know, it's dangerous. And one of the magicians goes up as you know, when they select somebody from the crowd to participate, you know, one of them is the rival magician, and he puts a real bullet inside the gun.
Figured that, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, the movie, you know, they go back and forth until, you know, it gets deadly.
You just really proved to me that you really fit your nickname, your AKA nickname.
What?
You really are Mr. Nice Guy, man. You don't really want to ruin things for people. My approach is like, just watch it, damn it.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
but definitely, the Prestige is really, really good, man.
I heard good things about it. It's an A-list cast. I definitely gotta find time to watch that.
Yeah,
Um,
Scarlett Johansson in that movie.
oh, got it. You know, Scarlett Johansson actually went to school with Julia,
Oh, you
and
serious?
yeah, and like her mother loves reminding me that oh yeah, Scarlett Johansson was in, you know, she was friends with Julia, and you know, and at that age, you know, I took everyone to the movies to see Home Alone, and you know, like, she tells me like all the time, it's just like you don't even know her, you know. I mean, I'm not saying you don't know her. I just feel like I think it's funny that she it's a positive memory that she keeps reliving.
I get it. I do the same thing. If I knew a celebrity before they were a celebrity, and I can be like, I know this person better than you do.
From elementary school.
That's right.
But yeah, I'll show you. I'll get that picture, show it to you one of these days.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll definitely check that. All right, so my next movie choice would be it's actually from a book. It's a Ben Affleck movie. You want to guess what it is?
I know what it is, bro. I know.
Okay, good. All right, so that next movie would be Gone Girl. Oh, so you've seen it?
Yes, very good movie. Well, I don't want to say it was a great movie. It was one of his better films for sure.
Very good movie. I didn't know what to expect out of it, but I heard a lot of positive things, so that's one of the reasons why I watched it. I like most of his films. I'm outside of him and his films, I'm not a big fan of him, but
Really?
I think he has a great taste for movies, and he's been involved with some hits, and yeah, I mean, I don't like him. He's from Boston. What do you expect? You know?
Oh, that's some Boston nights over here talking about this guy.
I don't think any of our friends are from Boston.
Oh, that's by chance. It's not.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I don't got no problem. I mean, I'll hang out with a Boston night. They
I
always
didn't say I would hang out with them, but I was just automatically I'm going to give you a hard time. But you know, that's me. All right, so Gone Girl. So Gone Girl. The plot is basically a seemingly perfect wife, Amy, goes missing, and philandering Nick becomes the prime suspect. So he does a great job because, like, you know, she seems very loving and she seems very supportive and all the perfect things that you would want from a wife. But for whatever reason, there was discourse between them in the marriage, and they were just basically living together, but they really weren't together, you know. So they were going through the ups and downs. What happened?
Do you know why? I remember that because when she's narrating and she's telling her story, she seems almost like the perfect wife. Like she made every attempt to be the perfect wife. I just thought that was weird why he fell out of love with her. Oh, I remember now. Good.
So you gotta watch that.
Yeah.
She, as I think about it, and as you say that, I realized that I think he did a great job, but she did an amazing job because to sell this movie, it's not just about script writing or what the cameraman shows you, cinematography. It's what they can sell, and she did an amazing job, and she narrates it, and you're definitely just trying to figure things out as you're going on. But she goes missing, and then they hit up Ben Affleck and start questioning him, and he's like, "Listen, guys, I'm an open book. It wasn't me. Like I'm telling you, it wasn't me." So it's funny when you're trying to read somebody. Like right now, I'm looking at you like, and I ask you a question. Now I'm looking at any little thing on your face, like. Yeah. He looked left or he looked right or he scratched his nose. Like, yeah, he's lying. That could be true. It could not be true. But the truth of the matter is, in a situation where you're wanted for where you're being actually you're the number one person for murder, you want them to believe you. So you're like trying to give them whatever information they need. And he really, really tried. But all throughout this, as the viewer, you're judging him. You're like, okay, he's being open, but what is he withholding? And you start.
He doesn't seem distraught.
Yeah,
and there's a reason behind that.
Yeah, and it was because of where the relationship has gone.
Yeah, he was kind of happy. She's like, dead. She's gone. Shit.
But he was worried, but just like listen, certain things didn't fit. But nonetheless,
in disguise.
He had to embrace the fact that he was an asshole. to say, like, listen, judge me all you want. Hate me, America. I am an asshole. But the truth is, I'm an asshole who didn't kill my wife. Right? So you keep looking at it and you keep looking at it, and they keep investigating and they keep finding all these things that lead right to him. And like, oh, what about this? And he's like,
all those purchases.
What are you talking about? Like all these purchases, all this, all this. The only reason you would do that would be because of this. And he was just like, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. He kept doing it. And then ultimately, the plot twist was great. I don't want to give it up. Finally, I'll let this one,
Wow.
But she did an amazing job. I did not expect it, and it was masterful the way it was thought out. Right. So that's my next choice. Gone Girl. Real quick, guys out there, you guys got any things you want to add? Any movies you want to throw up in the mix that you felt were really up there? Like I was actually thinking about throwing in The Village. I enjoyed The Village.
That was interesting. Yeah, that was good.
Shyamalan. I wasn't sure I was gonna like it at first, but they did a real good job with that. But M. Night Shyamalan is known for doing movies like that. He loves pulling the rug from under you. He loves leading you one way and then giving you something else. Which I admire. I really like him. Oh, do we have a comment? Let's see. Sixth Sense, of course, classic. That was one of the best plot twists of all time. And as you watch it over, it makes sense. Like the story, it definitely carries, but when you know what happens at the end and you watch it again, you see it. You start seeing that makes sense because you start revisiting in your head, like, how could that be? All right, but your memory isn't as sharp until you watch it over and then you realize, oh shit, he was dead the whole time.
Plot twist.
You still got to watch the rest of it because there's more to it.
No, it's good, man. There's a lot of movies with some great plot twists. What do you call it? John Carpenter? No, John. Yeah, is it? Anyway, it was John something.
What are you talking about?
Movie with a great plot twist, but it was a hard. I actually brought it up in the topics where we talked about horrible movies that we would still watch. Great endings or something like that.
The one where he's in the arena, he fights this huge ass creature.
Yeah. It's John something. I can't remember it.
That was off. I enjoyed it for certain aspects, but it wasn't a great story.
No, but that ending was epic, bro.
Yeah.
Epic. I was like, yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy how you could say that the movie was whack, but you enjoyed it for other reasons,
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Definitely. All right. So next movie. You know where we're going with that one?
Arlington Road, man. That movie is absolutely fantastic, man. And actually, let me see. When did this movie come out? 1999. It was actually prior to 9/11, so I seen it after 9/11 because it was so. It touched on the topic of terrorism. So, have you seen Arlington Road?
I haven't, and tell me a little bit about it because I when you mentioned it to me, I had no idea. I know Tim Robbins and Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges, yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. I've never seen it. Honestly, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's good, man. I'm going to read you the synopsis because the synopsis does a better job of giving you an idea what the movie is than I could ever do. So, I guess, all right.
Okay.
All right. He's a widowed. Let me see. It says he was widowed when his FBI agent wife is killed by an extremist group. He was a college professor. Michael Faraday is his name. He becomes obsessed with the culture of these groups, especially when his new all-American neighbors, played by Tim Robbins and Joan Cusack, start acting suspiciously. And with each twist, man, the mystery deepens and questions loom as to whether Faraday, which is Tim Robbins' character, no, Jeff Bridges' character, is consumed by fear and driven by paranoia, or whether a lethal conspiracy has been born on Arlington Road. That movie makes you go it makes you think about how the media puts out information and false information just to put us at ease. Like they'll tell us, like, if something huge happens, right? The idea in this movie is like if something big happens, like instead of telling us the truth, what they'll do is they'll give us something to make us feel at ease. Like, this is why this happened. This terrorist plot was happened by this person, and that's nowhere near the truth. When you watch Arlington Road, you'll see how it's a huge, meticulously planned by. Oh man, it's a really good movie that deals with terrorism from a different perspective, man, and how they play that perspective again. They use your fear against you, and it's incredible. It's a really good movie, and it was really like like if you watch that and you like experience 9/11, like you start thinking about if you weren't a conspiracy theorist before, you will be after seeing this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I really wish that things were better, man, and I would love to invite people over to watch movies in the backyard. If things weren't so COVID unsafe right now.
Right.
I miss it, man. I got an AMC theater across the street from my house, and I drive past it, and it makes me sad. I'm like, damn.
They said they rent out the theaters, man, but I haven't seen that in New York. If you guys don't know, we're from New York, so.
Yeah, and it's hard to get people to come out to Jersey sometimes. Not everybody has a car, but nonetheless, like, it's still like the numbers are going up. So I feel like to decide to do that right now would be a little bit irresponsible,
Absolutely, yeah.
And with we talked about it. We talked about getting a group of people all going to get tested the same day with the rapid testing. But unfortunately, those things can give you false positive and false results. So you don't want to, put your family.
It's not a chance. Yeah, it's not a chance worth taking right now.
It depends. If the movie was good enough, I wouldn't. I'm joking. One of my favorite plot twist movies of all time. You ready for this?
Shoot.
Dumb and Dumber. I'm just joking. No, hell no.
Plot twist. They're geniuses.
Exactly, right? No, so we got some good comments or recommendations. Beautiful Mind. Great movie. Russell Crowe. Jennifer Connelly was in that as well. Yeah. I believe so. I know this because I met those actors a bunch of times, and they're pretty cool people. But I remember watching A Beautiful Mind, seeing the whole thing and then saying to myself, wow, Russell Crowe is a lot more versatile than I gave him credit for. Because you see him in that epic movie of Gladiator, and you're like, yo, he was amazing. But then you see him in this role, and he's a big freaking dweeb. He's a big herb that's very smart, and you're trying to understand why he's doing certain things. But I feel like he sold it, and you agree? No, am I wrong? Am I the only one who feels this way?
It's been a long time. I can't access those files right now.
He's been involved in a lot of different things, So like he's one person you try to peg hole him in a certain type of movie, but if you watch the stuff that he's done, he's really played. He does a lot of detective stuff, but he's very versatile. I give him credit for it. Fight Club, another great movie.
Love Fight Club.
Ed Norton, Brad Pitt, great movie. A little bit abstract, but not hard to follow. Very interesting. Primal Fear, another great option. Absolutely. There's so many great movies out there. Oh, The Game with Michael Douglas. Have you seen The Game?
No, I don't think so.
Sean Penn, Michael Douglas. Really quick. Sean Penn Michael Douglas was rich, and Sean Penn was like his black sheep brother that decided to get him a gift. He said, I got you a gift. I got you the best gift. Even though you can buy anything you want, I got you a gift that money can't buy. And basically things start, he said, you're going to play a game. And it's basically like a bunch of people that are actors, and they're all, everywhere you go, it's not real. So that it's almost like that you sell a story. So let's say you go to a murder mystery dinner, and then all of a sudden everyone there, nobody's going anywhere. And then all of a sudden you're trying to figure that out. Well, his world got turned upside down, and it kept getting worse and worse. And the police were after him. He was involved in a murder, and he didn't do it. And he was just running for his life. And this rich guy ended up having to freaking hide from everyone. And he was just really, really second guessing living. Like he was just like, this game took him to the brink, and then the twist happens and it blows your mind. So that was a while ago. That movie came out a while ago, but that was a really, really great plot twist movie. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but let's move on. All right, so my last choice of movie would be Gothika.
Is that with Bruce Willis?
No, actually, Robert Downey Jr., Holly Berry, uh, what's the name? Penelope Cruz. You remember them?
Okay.
Yeah. So it was a very, this movie reminds me a lot of your movie would be better. Shutter Island. That's another great plot twist movie
Yeah.
that you spoke about prior on another date. But this movie reminds me a lot of it because it's very abstract in terms of what's happening, and you really have to pay attention. They really mislead you, and you can't really trust everything you see. But so this story, let's see. This story, the life of a psychiatrist, Miranda Gray, is derailed after she nearly hits a girl with her car one night. Later, Miranda wakes up in her own mental hospital under the care of her peer, Pete Graham, completely disoriented. Miranda,
Oh, he was obsessed with her, right?
yes. Miranda is accused of killing her own husband, but she has no memory of anything after she encountered the girl. Slowly, Miranda begins to uncover what happened, but she has to escape the asylum to solve the mystery. So it's everything is flipped. All of a sudden you're helping people, you're a psychiatrist, and then now all of a sudden no one believes anything you're saying, and you're in one of these cells in an insane asylum, in one of those hospitals. And no one trusts anything you're saying. And Penelope Cruz was great because she was just a disturbed girl that you didn't want to believe her because she seemed crazy, but she was saying certain things that were hitting true. And it's a very, very interesting story. You should definitely see it. I don't want to give too much. It has a big sense of like there's ghosts and stuff like that, and certain people's ghosts are involved, but nice twist at the end. Definitely didn't expect it. Very spooky movie. There's a point where she has her a scar on her forearm, and all of a sudden something was carved into her forearm to say something, and that was creepy as hell. And you're like, what's going on? So as the viewer, I was definitely led on a wild goose chase trying to figure out what was going on, and at the end they basically show you everything at the very, very end. So pretty good movie if you haven't seen it. Were you a fan of that one, or?
That's another one I vaguely remember. I saw it one time, and I don't know if there's a plot twist as much as a cliffhanger. At least with a cliffhanger, right? If I'm not mistaken. Like the way it ends, you start wondering whether or
It tells you pretty much mostly exactly what happened, right?
Okay.
It leads you to where all the bad guys are and who was involved and what was covered and what was uncovered. But it also gives you a little bit of you can fill in the rest of the blanks on certain things. So as the viewer, you're like, tell me everything. I want everything. I want to know everything. But they leave it off, so it's off to the imagination.
Inception.
Very
spinning top.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Definitely very Inception-esque. I just made that word up.
All right, so for all you guys, I think if I'm not mistaken, we might be taking the next 2 weeks off in lieu of the holidays, and we'll come back January 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Yep.
We might be we'll be creating content and putting it up, but I don't think we're gonna have live shows for the next 2 weeks in light of the holiday season, and to give us some time to, Serge has been extremely overwhelmed and busy recently. I know the baby give you a little breather, a little. But we're gonna try some different things with the show. We've been getting a lot of feedback from a lot of you guys. John, I can't give this guy enough credit, man. He's constantly in the background giving us some fantastic ideas, but I'm gonna try to implement to the show also. We're gonna try to just do things a little bit differently, try to be a little bit more interactive, and try to get you guys a little more involved in what we're doing. So we'll be doing like a format where we're gonna be alternating the days. Like one day we're gonna have more control on with ideas. Like Serge will have his ideas, and he'll host his ideas. Then I'll have my ideas, and I'll host my ideas, and we'll go back and forth like that. It's gonna be like alternating weeks with that. So I'll give you guys a different taste, a different something to look forward to. We're trying to spice things up a little bit. Throw a little something on top of it. Throw a little something on top.
But at the end of the day, we value all your feedback and all your contributions. So, guys, if you want to hear about something, something that you feel like fits under the category of ill that you want to talk about,
Yeah.
you can definitely do that. We also want to start talking about some series. I tasked Rick to start watching the show The Outsider.
Right.
I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's a Stephen King. It's off a Stephen King book. Very, 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 very good show. Not what I expected. It hooked me in from the beginning. It's meant to hook you in the first 10 seconds. Great cast. I actually literally just put it on the TV in my house just so I could have something on the TV while I did something, and I was stuck watching it. And then
how many seasons?
There's only one season. It's only one
Okay.
season. It might get slowed up a little bit for the second season due to COVID, but due to the
Somebody use your terminology. The outsider is ill.
I agree. Thank you very much. I hope I get paid for that. But but it's definitely one of those shows that definitely give you a little bit more each episode. It was great. It was due to the feedback from the fans, people did not. The book ended after the first season, but because it was so popular, they decided to make another season, which is great. Which shows that, hey, you could keep going with it. We're gonna keep it moving because it was.
I think Jason's a fan.
Nice. That's what I like. I mean, honestly, man, I realize I have a lot of the same tastes as other people. So this is this is no slouch of a movie. Watch it. It's very it'll leave you guessing. It's very mysterious and very dark. And it has some popular people that you know. So
yeah, a show that me and my wife been watching a lot is Schitt's Creek. It's funny. It's good stuff, man.
my wife, yeah.
And that's our current go-to show now. We're just gonna spend some time together, watch a show. Schitt's Creek. It's not terrible, man. It's good stuff.
I love how you have to when people use it like, oh, it's not terrible. Why don't you say it's a great show? It's not terrible. Watch it. Like
no, it's good because she was watching it. She was watching it on her own, right? And I was just like going in the kitchen, doing my own thing. And then I caught myself watching a little longer. And then I'm like, are you watching Schitt's Creek today?
Yeah, well, same thing happened with Outsider. Julia was like, what are you watching? And I was like, it's a really good movie. I don't know if you want in on it. And then she's like, I don't have time for it. And then she's like doing stuff and she's watching it from like the living room. I mean, from the dining room. And then she's like, all right, so tell me what's happening here. What's happening here? And then all of a sudden, she officially just said it. Like, you're not allowed to watch this without me, okay? And when we watch it together, and I'm happy. I enjoy that,
Yeah, and absolutely, Jason, that is definitely a plot twist. With Star Wars and Luke and Leia being brother and sister, like.
I guess so. That is true. Yeah. And then obviously, Darth Vader.
Yo, bro, we have to watch The Mandalorian, man. Everybody is talking about that show. Yes, and me have to make it a mission to watch it. I heard episode 16 was a crazy episode. I don't know nothing about it. I don't know what happened, but everybody keeps talking about episode 16, and I don't feel like I can watch episode 16 until I watch 1 through 15. So we got to get on that.
Ironically, I've been hearing it, how good it was, how good it is. And we both share that in common where we
big on Star Wars, yeah.
Not big on Star Wars, and we don't know any of the history. So I think it'll be cool for two fresh eyes to watch and judge this show. Which
we'll probably if we decide to do it, we'll probably focus the next 2 weeks on giving you guys little tidbits here and there of what we thought about the shows as we watch them. What do you think about that?
Ultimately, we have to work out a course of doing this because there's numerous episodes. So we're not going to, talk about the whole thing
Nah.
We might have to break it up and be like episodes 1 through whatever. I don't know. We'll figure
it out. We'll figure it out.
that out. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so Eunice likes the blacklist.
Yeah, I fell off that show, but
Right,
yeah,
man.
a lot of great things. But guys, feel free to keep supporting us and jump in our media chopper room on Facebook if you want to join in. Feel free. I'm constantly, all of us are adding great content in there about movies and series and actors and all different types of things of did you knows and very interesting things. Follow us on we're also on YouTube. You can download it. You can download the episodes. You can watch them whenever you want. Or right now we're streaming live. So and also on
Instagram,
the IG.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, thank you guys. We appreciate you. Enjoy your holiday season.
Yeah, man.
Stay safe. Keep watching those movies. Share your interests. And until the next one, we'll catch you then. Love you guys. Always remember, do what you love.
And love what you do, man.
Yo, peace out, y'all. Until the next one.
Deuces.